Now we're going to look at the assignment. Now what I want you to do is, first of all, I suggest you start writing an assignment as soon as possible. Since you're still in MCO thing, start writing an assignment now itself. I mean, do a draft, and you send me the draft before you submit online. Okay, because I want to guide you all, through how to get it done properly in the right way of doing it. So maybe I might have to do a one-to-one session with you all on Zoom or probably or some other way, where I show you how to do it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you did your last assignment and how you should modify and change into this particular assignment. Okay, so this assignment I'm going to thoroughly go through with you, and I will give you the video of what our session, so you can remember what we are talking about, right? Okay, guidelines. Let's start with the guideline. Okay, most of the guidelines you know, but let me just review it again. First of all, you're required to answer the question and complete the assignment individually. If necessary, your answer, let me raise the point. Okay. If necessary, your answer must be based on your opinion, observation, and experience. Now look at that. What I really want is your opinion. Now, as a master student, I just don't want you to just take somebody else's opinion and just put it in. Give me your opinion. If the question is asked, discuss. It means you discuss, come up with your opinion, your observation, what you have observed. Where have you observed? In your own business probably, or in your own career, you observe this, and experience, which need to be supported by literature review. You cannot just simply say, oh, I believe this is how it is, Why? Because you have to give some kind of support from some literature. It could be an article or newspaper article, and you must say, I believe, let's say, for example, you talk about the COVID-19. The COVID-19 is actually, the pandemic actually changed the way we are doing business. Okay, who said that? What's your observation? According to what I've read here, this is how I concur. And this is how I understand and I think, right? So you have to do that. Second, third one, you should state all references. The assignment, please write the reference using the APA format. You all are familiar with the APA format, is it? Are you all familiar with the APA format? Raj?
Not where I go ahead. I just put it. I'm not that familiar.
Not that familiar.
I just go through the journals and all that. I see the heading and I just put it there.
Put it there, okay. So you have to follow the format. Okay, you have to follow the format. So I might just guide you another time, on how to do the thing in the APA format, the right way. I will guide you when I do that one-to-one sessions with you all, all right? Okay. Nisha, your assignment, last one. Every question you put one page, one file. Every question is one file. Why was that, Nisha?
Every question one file, sir.
I think there were 5 questions in the last assignment. Every question, so you send one file, is it? You forgot what you did. Okay. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, we put it in.
No, it couldn't attach, sir. Like when I upload it, right? I couldn't upload it in like as one. I asked Vanilla how to do it, and then.
Okay. Don't worry. I will guide you through that. I want you to start writing on it so I can guide you how to go about doing it in a proper way. Okay. Now, your format, you may want to organize your answer into these 4 components. Look at these 4 components. Introduction, main body, conclusions, and reference. Okay? So that means, first of all, is the introduction to the whole entire this thing. Then the main body, conclusion, and then a reference. For example, if they're asking about what are the modes of entry, to foreign markets, So then you talk about there are basically, many ways in companies can actually go into a foreign market, They are basically what that's the introduction. Then in the main body, what you do, you talk about what are the different types of this thing and elaborate, explain about it. Conclusion, you say, I believe that this is the easier way, of entering into the foreign market, and then you conclude, and then at the end you put references, So this is how, basically you write an assignment based on these 4, organize. You got to organize it in this way. Is that clear? All right, it should be organized in this way,
Yeah.
So when you write, I want to see whether you all are doing it in this way, you have all these 4 parts of the essay or not, all right? Now, okay, this is how your rubrics is. Is it rubrics? Okay, so this is how you're going to be marked Okay, first of all is introduction. You go to the thing, it's introduction. This thing is disturbing me. I can't even see. Okay, first is introduction. Introduction, if you do a good introduction, 8 to 10 marks is complete introduction, with a brief indication of understanding concepts and theories and all that, you get full marks. Okay, 3 to 7 marks you'll get is a good introduction, but without any indication, understanding of the concepts or theories. I mean, you haven't explained that you really understand the theory behind it. 1 to 2 marks is a brief introduction only, too general. You just say these are the thing like that, then you'll get 1 to 2 marks. So this is how the marking system is. All right. Now again, the body of the thing. Body is highest marks you get if you clearly discuss the concept or theory or models supported with examples. For example, if I would ask you, the question is, explain all the theories of what you call international trade theories. So then what you got to do, you discuss each one of it, you give them a model with example, give an example in detail, comparison, synthesis, analysis supported by relevant journal articles, then you will get full marks. But if you just clearly discuss without support of journal article, then you only get about 20 marks. But if you clearly discuss without example, that means you never give any examples, you'll get only 17 to 19 marks. Yeah. Okay. Raj, you asked
the journal
article references.
Yeah, the journal articles we have to put it right at the end together with the reference, or as we are doing the at the body of the assignment, the answer.
Assignment. Okay, there are 2 ways. You have to put it at 2 different parts. Inside the body,
the journal article.
Yeah. Journal article. Reference. You're talking about the reference, is it?
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the journal. To quote the journal. Do we have to quote it at the body of the assignment, or do we have to quote it next to the reference?
Okay, you have to do it at 2 parts, two places. One is at the body, and then one more at the reference. So at the body, when you do it's called an inside citation. Inside means in text, inside the text itself. So you put a small what you call and then the same thing you refer back at the end there. You refer it back again there at the end. So that is how you do that, right? So maybe I'll show you an example of how it is done, so you can have a understanding of how it's done.
Okay.
Let me do a new share with you, Let me put that to my desktop. This is something that okay, so let me show. Okay, you can see this, right? Can you see this? Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Why is it taking such a long time? If we get cuts off, we join back again. Okay, so look at this assignment, is it? Okay, so this one talks about teaching. It's about from teachings. Is it? Now, okay, you look at this one. The question is, explain how the teaching methods, learning activities, and resources you use help to develop the learner's learning. Okay, so here we're talking about, I also applied the technique that I learned in the engage session, which was reflection and action, as stated by Danielson. This is called in text. I mean, you're referring to Danielson, what Danielson wrote, is it? In 1992, he wrote an article. So you're referring to this. So within the body of the, what do you call this thing? You write that. Now at the bottom, you see, you go to references here. You see the reference? This is complete. Daniel Searle and LM 1992, Exploring the Modes of Thinking, a Study. This is the article that he wrote. So when I am quoting somebody, I quote in two different places. One is inside, and then at the one at the bottom. The inside one, you look at this one, based on this information as suggested by Dixon and Worrell, page 155 to 2016, Dixon and Worrell. So now, if the person is reading this, he'll go look Dixon and Worrell. Where is it? Then he'll go there. Dixon, DD, and Worrell are the references. This is the article that they wrote. So this is how you should do the citation. Is that clear, Vanilla? Yeah. Nisha, were you listening?
Yes.
Were you listening? They mean when you do references, that you have to do it at two different parts. One is inside the body. The other one is at the bottom there. The bottom is complete. At the bottom, under the references, is a very complete this thing, is it? They'll tell you what is the name of the article, where the article came from, which year, everything. But inside the thing, you just quote very short way. Does it answer your question, Raj?
Yeah.
This is what you wanted, right?
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, so where will we? Now, let me come back again. How do I go back to the other one? Here's the one. Okay, so this is so in the body you should have the references, everything proper, is it? And the body, and then finally is a conclusion. You look at the conclusion, at the conclusion part of this one. At the conclusion, can somebody read that? Okay, conclusion, complete conclusion that tells you understanding of the concept. 10 marks, you get a conclusion that summarizes the whole entire concept. See, at the conclusion, you summarize everything, whatever you have done. And then what do? You models in comparison, a short discussion, is it? So you just simply give a brief conversation, you get only 1 to 3 marks only you get. Now references, so you see, if more than 5 marks, you get 15 references. If you give 5 to 1 reference, you only get 2 to 1 mark only. So references, so there is marks for it. So there are a lot of ways in which you can actually score in an assignment. You give more references, you get more marks, right? Okay, so next is basically this one, 1.5 space and 11 aerial, 12 Roman, 15 pages.
Yeah.
Okay, now this is very important. Some of you, I think only 1 or 2 page only, your assignment is only 1 or 2 pages. Very short, I saw the assignment is very, very short, like a small paragraph only for one. So the marking system, is much, you look at the marking system, see how much marks they give. They give 20 marks, mean you need to write a lot. But it's 5 marks, then you just have to, something simple you have to do, So it should be minimum of 15 marks, 15 pages for whole entire thing, okay? And a last part, you look at this one, it's important to submit the plagiarism report. None of you have done the plagiarism report, right?
No.
Have you done that? No. Okay, so plagiarism.
I did.
So yours you did.
Only for international marketing.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, I think I remember, this is done that lie down. So plagiarism report will tell you how much of it actually you have really copied from somewhere else, so it's very important to have your plagiarism report into your, this thing, right? And if you do it earlier, you can easily upload. Once you're late, then what happens is, Yes, Raj?
You see, I just want to ask something on this plagiarism.
Plagiarism, yeah.
Let's say somebody quoted, let's say Danielson quoted something. He said something. Okay. Can we follow the whole thing, or we have to also change it?
You have to. They call it paraphrase it. Paraphrase means you reword it according to what the thing. I mean, according to your own words. You cannot copy bulat like that, because when you copy bulat like that, they will tell you that you have actually copied from him, Even though you referred, it's not your words. You have referenced him and told it's not.
I know, but that's what he said.
That's what he said. But the thing is, the way you word it is, okay, let's say, for example, if you said, the world is going through an economic crisis, okay, right? So then, according to Danielson, okay, crisis is very eminent in the global, is very global now. See, they mean the same word, is it? But you say that the fella has told in this way, is it? The meaning is the same, but you write it, is it? Because what the system does is, you just go and check and see wherever you are. Another way you can do that, let's say some things you cannot write your own, because maybe certain words is his own words, he coined it. You cannot change it to your own words, is it? So, for example, the Prime Minister said that this is the new normal. Okay, you want to use the new word new normal, is it? So what do? You put it in bracket. The Prime Minister mentioned the word new normal in his speech yesterday, So when you put it in bracket, then it's okay. If you really want to copy what the blur said, but you don't want to be thing, then what do? You can put it as like that, as new normal, like that. That is how you do that. Okay.
Okay. And then,
yeah. Can.
Another things we are doing, we give the references and all that. What about the actual exam? Do we also have to give the references?
No. Exams you don't have to reference, because you can't really
only for assignments.
Only for assignments. Yeah. You cannot be remembering all the references and all that, exam. So exam you just write down just basic what do you call this thing only. Okay, so this is the basic guideline for the assignments, for the how to write the assignment. Okay, what we will do now, we will go through your assignment. Okay, so this is your assignment. Did you all go through your assignments? Have you all gone through your assignments?
Yeah, just when
briefly, yeah.
Quick run through.
Okay, doesn't matter. I will go through with you fully today. All your thing one by one, Okay, so this is the assignment for this semester. Right? Answer all the questions. There are two parts, part A and part B. A total of 50 marks. Part A is 50 marks. Part B is 50 marks, right? Part A has got two questions. Question one: over the years, markets have gone global, but now the protectionism policy of USA and the COVID-19 pandemic threatens the global value chains. Okay, elaborate your answer with relevant example. Okay, now, what is the question now? Now, first of all, you know what is the question in the assignment. Sometimes it's very difficult to find the question. Once you find the question, 50% of your work is solved already. Okay, so when you look at this, where you think is the question? What is the question here?
But, how does the COVID-19 affects the global value chain?
Okay. Okay, so they mean over the years, markets have become global. That means it's a statement. Okay, it's telling now everywhere, it's all markets have become global already. But now the protectionism policy of USA and the pandemic threatens the thing. So now we're going to talk about how the value chain has been threatened. That is a question. You got to discuss, elaborate your answer with relevant example. So you need to give an example. You got to explain how the value chains are threatened. Okay. First of all, you must understand what is protectionism policy. What is protectionism policy? What do you mean by protectionism policy? What do you mean by protection? What do you protect? You protect rights. You protect certain things, right? Isn't it? For example, you protect your family, you protect your children, you protect your animals. All these your thing, is it? So protection of policy of USA means protectionism is using restrictions such as tariffs to boost your country's industry, okay, and shield it from foreign competition. Now, for example, you will take Mr. Trump's aluminium tariff. In 2018, the president announced a 25% tariff on all steel import. I mean, every steel that you import from overseas increase the tax by 25%. Okay. Now, what will that happen to the market? What happens to the business? If you increase the tariff, US increase the tariff, what will happen? If you are an importer, yes, if you are importing steel into USA, what will happen? Your cost is going to go up. right? Isn't it?
Cost goes up. Yes.
Cost goes up. So you'll think, I don't want to go to China. I'll go somewhere else and what do you call? I'll import, like, or maybe everywhere is expensive. So what will you do? You look for local companies, isn't it? True or not?
Markets.
You look for
Other
local other supplier locally. So what he did. So what happens is you protect. So this was actually going to affect global. What is value chain? What do you mean by global value chain? What is the global value chain? Okay. Now value chain is, for example, you're sourcing all the products from all over the world, right? Isn't it? Okay. Now let's say, for example, I'll give you an example. This is iPhone. An iPhone, let's say an iPhone 6 sells for $600. Okay. Now the $600, where does it come from? Let's wait for Nisha. Where's Nisha? Message Nisha, ask her to come in. Okay. All right. Manjit is back. Okay, fine.
Here?
Okay. Now, this is the global value chain means when a product is manufactured, like for example, the iPhone is manufactured, USA is not doing it. We're giving it to China to manufacture. But China gets it from where? All the inputs from Korea, Germany, France, Japan, and other countries are supplying parts to China. What are they getting from Korea? What do you think they're getting from Korea? Raj? What are they buying from Korea? You see, the highest is $80 is the highest from Korea. The part comes from there. It's basically the chip. Korea is number one in basically in the manufacture of chips and all that. So chips that are used inside the iPhone coming from Korea. Germany is certain parts. France certain part. Japan gives some. Like that. So all these are manufactured overseas. This is called the global value chain. That means each country gives a certain value to the product, and then the final value comes in. So the final value comes from all these places. Is how the whole entire, this is called a value chain. I mean, each part of the product or the stage of the product is developed. There's a value. Now this is the global value chain for iPhone coming from different places. What if, let's say, for example, Donald Trump say, we want to increase the price of all the spare parts, all the raw material, all of you do the iPhone in locally itself, So what's going to happen to the value chain? Vanilla? If let's say, for example, you say, oh, don't import anymore, what's going to happen? If let's say, for example, if this is Donald Trump, he cannot import anymore from all these countries, do the thing here itself. You want to do iPhone, do it in US. Don't take from this country, So what will happen?
China will die.
Okay, China of course will die, but they'll do something else, So what will happen to the price of the product? Okay, price will go up because why? Local factors of production like labor, raw material, everything is all going to be more expensive locally. Why are they getting from overseas? Because it's cheaper, right? Labor is cheaper, cost of manufacturing is cheaper, so all these cheaper. That's the reason why. So imagine now with the protection policy of USA, all these global value chain are all going to be jammed up, okay, and it's going to affect the business of all these. This is what is going to happen. So in your essay that you're going to explain in this answer, you got to talk about, give an example. Like I've given you an example like that, So give an example of one product. It could be an iPhone, it could be some other kind of thing, Give an example of what will happen if, let's say, protection policies continue. how the whole entire business is going to be affected all over. The value chain all over is affected, right? Now, this is called a value chain. Something gives value to something, something gives value, something final value is what the customer pay. 600 ringgit, $600 come from all these amount adding together.
So it's laggy.
Laggy, is it? Who is that? Nisha, is it?
It's laggy, yeah. Can you hear? Yes.
You can't hear me, is it?
Mm.
My internet connection is unstable, it seems.
Can, but it's like
Cutting and going back again, is it? Okay. All right. So you're clear? All right. Doesn't matter. I will give you a copy of all this so you can actually go through it. Now look at this article. Talks about the impact of COVID-19 on global supply chain. Okay. What's happened? For example, pharmaceutical industry, how it's affected all the goods, from different parts of the world. So read up some articles like this and then use that as a reference into when you're answering your question. Okay, is that understood? Right. So this is the first question. Now let's go to the second question on part A. Vanilla, can you read this? Vanilla? It's laggy, is it?
International business is explained by many. Yes, sir. Can
Yeah,
you hear me?
I can.
Okay, international business is explained by many international trade and
investment theory.
These theories explain trends in business adequately. As a point of focus disadvantage in exporting rubber gloves and Bangladesh in exporting garments.
Okay. Now, what's the question here? International business explain money, international trade. This is a statement, okay? Do you think that this theory explain the trends in business adequately? That's the first question, is it? The question is, do you think that this theory explains the business adequately? It means you're talking about the investment theory, the trade theory. Remember, we talked about all the theory, right? Mercantilism and all those kind of theories, is it? Do they explain this correctly or not, the trade that's going on, as a point of focus, I mean, using the example.
It's lagging.
Laggy again. Can you hear me now?
So it's laggy, yeah.
Okay. Hello. Can you hear me now? Internet. I thought internet in KL would be good. Internet in KL also not so good, is it? The line is laggy, yeah. Just a minute, KL also so problem with internet. I thought KL will be better, cities and all that. Now here also is so bad, I think everybody is complaining. That day we had a session with some of the lecturers and all that. They're all complaining. The internet is so bad. Are they giving any discounts, sir? Can you hear me? Is that okay, Vanilla?
Yeah, okay. Can hear.
Okay. Now, in this question, you have give you example based on what? Malaysia exporting rubber gloves,
Malaysia and Bangladesh.
and Bangladesh is exporting garments, Okay. Now, Remember the three theories that we talked about? You know, we talked about comparative advantage, absolute advantage, right? Okay, now what you got to do is in this question you got to use these two theory of comparative advantage or absolute advantage, and then you talk about Porter's diamond and explain, you know, Malaysia and Bangladesh. Bangladesh is the largest exporter of garments in the world. You know, why is it they're the largest exporter? Why is Bangladesh the best exporting garments?
Carpet quality.
Huh?
Yeah, quality.
Yeah.
Not really a quality. The reason
It's
one
cheaper.
of the cheap. Okay, labor is cheap there in Bangladesh. Number one,
Yeah.
Cheap. Oh.
it's cheap labor, and then they have remember the factors of production. Labor is cheap, and then the government also encourage these people to do go into the garment business. They give them loans and all kind of stuff like that. So that is also one of the things that really spurs them into to be competitive compared to other countries. So what they do is, okay, in Malaysia also we can produce garments, right? Isn't it? Can we produce garments in Malaysia? Clothes? We can do that, right? Isn't it?
Sir,
Nisha? Oh dear.
I can't hear.
Are you back? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, now can.
Now can. The internet is very bad today. I think Sunday everybody is on the internet line, all right? Now we can actually produce also garments. But what we do is, which one are we better at? Producing garment or producing rubber? Which one are we better at? We are better at producing rubber rather than garments, right? Isn't it? It makes sense for us to use rubber. So that is why we choose to be more on exporting rubber, and we import baju from Bangladesh. Instead of we doing baju here, we might as well let Bangladesh do the baju. We buy from them. It's cheaper for us to do that, So this is called comparative advantage. I mean, compared to other country, this is better for us to put all our resources into exporting of rubber rather than into the garments. The reverse is there in Bangladesh. In Bangladesh, they also have rubber also. But rather than go into rubber, it makes sense for them to go spend all resources into making garments.
Can you give me the short by 5 days?
So is it the only reason because it's cheap there? Or quality also good, right?
Which one? Garments. Yeah, the quality is good. Quality is good. But we can make better quality garments here in Malaysia, but we choose to import it because why? Because of the so now we can actually use the theory of comparative advantage to explain this. Now what you need to do is, in this answer question, you must say yes. The theory, first of all, do you think that this theory, do you think or not? You must say yes. I believe the theories, we discussed, were actually very good in explaining this thing. As an example, I would like to choose. As an example, I would like to choose Malaysia and Bangladesh, two countries, and give an example of how this, what you call this comparative advantage is being used. Is that clear? All right. So this is what how you do the question number 2. Okay. Remember, this is Porter's. Porter's got 4. The diamond. We call it diamond shape. Firm strategy, the demand condition, related support industry, and factor. Support industry also is there. When you talk about rubber, here we have a lot of support industry for rubber. We have Rubber Research Institute and all that. So we have that supporting it. Okay, factor conditions also there. For example, is cheap labor. We have land, and we have skill in basically in rubber plantation. But over there in Bangladesh, they are more skilled in clothing. They're experts in clothing, and they got all the supporting industries. They mean providing all the thread, providing all the transport, and all that is all there. For them. So that is why they are able to be very good in the production of what you call clothing. Okay. And then you see this one, government, and can you see in gray color, government and chance, government also supports them. Chance is also the, what you call, I would say that it's like an environment that really helps, the environment gives them the kind of opportunity to run the, what you call, the business. Okay. Okay, part B, Part B is 50 marks. Now, this is interesting. Nisha, can you read this? Can you read this, please?
You are a consultant to a small-sized company engaged in medical products. The company is interested to expand its business to the Middle East, Dubai. Prepare a business report focusing on the business potential. Also, give advice on the entry mode and external risk if the decision is made to do business in the Middle East.
Okay. What are you required to do in this assignment? This is question. What are you required to do? Now, this is 50 marks, you know. Look at the marks, 50 marks. It means half of it is there, you know. So what you should do?
Report.
You got to do a business report. Okay. Now, a business report, the format is slightly different. In a business report, you see, you look at the format here given you. This is the business report format. First of all, you start out with the executive summary. You know what's an executive summary, right? It's a one-page summary of the whole entire report that you're providing. Then table of contents. Table of contents, you put like, 1, 2, 3. Introduction. I mean, introduction into the report. What is the thing? You see? Discussion. You discuss about it. You conclude. Recommendation, reference, and appendices if required. If you want, you can put appendix. If you do want, it's okay. See? So this is basically the format of a business report. Okay. Now, what are you supposed to do here? Look at that. First of all, you got to find out whether there is a business potential. Okay. What do you mean by business potential? Business potential means what? You are a company that is dealing with medical product. Okay. Now, which is your market that you're interested in to expand? To the Middle East, to Dubai. Okay. So now what you need to do, first of all, you must talk about the business potential. Business potential, is it worth? So you have to talk about, is there a demand for your product? Okay. Look at this. Is there a demand for your product? Maybe let's say, for example, you are selling certain medicine probably, or some kind of supplement probably, like, first of all, is there a demand in that particular region? Okay. Still laggy, is it? Lagging. Okay. Second, you need to look at who are the target customers. Who are the target customers that you have? Is it going to be older people, younger people? Is it everybody? Is it foreigners, local people? So you need to look at the target customers. Then number 3, you need to talk about the market size. Market size means, what is the size of the market? Is it what? How many billion? Market size. Then you got to talk about the growth. It means, is it going to keep on growing, or is it a one-time deal? Or is it going to keep on growing? More people are going to buy a particular product. So you got to look into that. Okay, a friend of mine actually was.
Sir, sorry, number 3. What is the number 3?
Market size.
Market size.
Market size.
Potential growth.
Size.
Potential growth, and the last is competitors. Okay, a friend of mine from India, what he wanted to do is, he wanted to export some medical equipment to the Middle East. Medical equipment dealing with all the diabetic patients and all that. So he wanted to do that. So before that, you do a research to find out whether there's a demand for it. He found out that those people over there, a lot of them are actually having problems on diabetes. So he did research from there. So there's a huge potential market for products that are related to this particular situation. So there's a growth, is growing. The numbers are growing, and then he must look at the competitor. How many competitors are there? Is it too many competitors? No point you get into the business. Now, as a business report, you just prepare all the data. Who are the competitor? What are this thing and all that. Now, what you need to do is, you need to choose one particular product. Any product. Imagine this: you are consulting with one company and one particular product, and do a proper research on that. I want you to do a proper research on the swing. Now, this is something you cannot cut and paste. You cannot copy from somewhere. You got to think of your own idea to do it. Okay. Then give advice on the entry mode. After you do that, you got to come to the recommendation. Look at number 6 there, 5 and 6. Talk about recommendation, right? Isn't it? So in the recommendation part, you got to talk about the entry mode. I mean, how do you want them to enter into the market? Remember the entry mode? Export, you want a franchise, whether you want a joint venture or wholly owned subsidiary, FDI. Which one is better? Okay, we got to find out what is the thing. And how you know what is good, you got to go and look into Saudi Arabia, Dubai, what business kind of method they would like to do. Would they like to do business with somebody export? Is it good? or they want a joint venture. Is that the kind of method that is suitable for them? Is it? So find out other companies what they did. For example, other pharmaceutical companies, other medical companies, what have they done? So you got to do a research on that. And this company, Pfizer, what they did, they joint venture with these people, so you got to explain about that. And then you suggest what is the entry mode. I want to see your suggestion, what is you think, not somebody said, what you think is the suggested mode, and then external risks. What are the risks that we have? When we go overseas to do business, a company goes overseas, what are the risks they pose? Remember yesterday we covered this risk?
Culture.
But then culture, yes, very good. Culture, someone, Nisha, any other? What are the risks? You remember the risks that we
Economic, I think, sir.
Economic, yes. Economic, Vanilla? What are the risks that a company will face? Okay, let me cover this. Cultural, okay, political. There can be a problem also. Political, is it? Okay, it keeps changing all the time. Now, a political situation sometimes is very unstable. Legal. Now, legal is a big problem in, especially in Saudi Arabia and all that. Suddenly they can change policy, legal and all that. Suddenly you can become illegal. Technology, economic, and environmental. So all these are the risks that they can produce. So find out for your particular product, the medical product, what is the kind of risk that is huge. And then for cultural, use the Hofstede. Remember the website we went to? You go and key in and find out what is the kind of cultural thing they will require in their country. Okay, so basically, what is their method of doing this thing? Are they very scared of risk? What are the kind of things they do, find out all this information from using Hofstede, this thing. So compare the cultural thing from Malaysia and Dubai and see, is that a lot of difference? Is that clear? All right. So this is a very interesting question where you need to do a lot of work in it. So I would like to see this because this will actually help you to understand a lot. As an MBA student, you need to prepare reports, business reports. Somebody asks you, I want a report. You must be able to do a report, analyze and find out what's the kind of report, a market report you should be able to do. Right. So this is very useful for you. So I would definitely want you to do it a good way, this one. All right. Okay, is that clear? So this is the assignment that you have. So do your assignment quickly and study to be maybe by, I don't know, maybe by next week or what, you can just go through it, and do it quickly as fast you do it. Otherwise, suddenly you'll have other subjects to do. What are the subjects you all are doing this semester? Accounting, I know you're doing, and this one. Are you all doing entrepreneurship also?
Yes.
Do you have entrepreneurship?
Yes, entrepreneurship. Yes.
Okay. Entrepreneurship also is mine lah. I also will be.
Okay.
Next class is entrepreneurship. Yeah.
Oh, entrepreneurship lah. When is it? Is it July? I saw in July. Is it July?
I think July.
July lah. I think after the Raya and all that, I think we're gonna have that lah. All right. Hopefully that one is not online. We we can meet face to face lah. Hopefully lah. Let's hope things are.
On the 11th of July.
11th of July lah.
11th? Oh, 11th.
Hopefully things we can see face to face lah before that. All right. Okay. Now, do you want to cover the past year exam questions here? We can go through with it if you want to. I have it all done. Okay. Huh?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, because after
Yes,
the other chapters, not much, not a lot to cover, So I thought maybe we can just do this, It'll be good.